Calling meeting to order. And we have quorum. Approval of the minutes for February 8th.
I had a few comments that I already gave to Mike. Typo type things, pretty much.
Is it approval for two separate things?
Is there approval for 2 minutes?
However you want to do it. Well, I'll abstain from the February one because I wasn't here. So if you can vote on it as separately, like approve the February 8th ones, I'll abstain. Approve the March 4th ones, but I was there.
I will
Then-
be approved Judy's modifications and move forward with approving.
Oh, February 8th
They're
or
going things.
Do the first one only, because I'll abstain from that.
Yeah.
February 8th, I probably approved February.
Nice second.
all in favor?
I
Chris abstains.
Approval of minutes for March 4th.
I mean, we approve the mention March 4th.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Items, public comment, not in the agenda.
Chair was supposed to be here for stuff.
Items for discussion, airport construction project, FAA grants project.
We will start with the runway 1230, displaced threshold relocation. I think you all saw the email that I sent out earlier, basically giving the schedule of, after I talk about this, we'll back up to let introduce our assistant city manager. Where was my thought? Project's going to start on April 1st. It's a 40-day project. Runway 1230 is going to be closed during the course of it. There will be a couple of periods where the intersection with taxiway Alpha is going to be closed, so taxiway Alpha is likely going to be closed, and then the intersection of the runway is going to be closed for work. That's like a 6-hour closure. That's likely going to be broken up in multiple chunks, but with the intersection being closed, both runways go down. So
And those will be maximum 6 hours.
it's a maximum period of 6 hours. They can do it like 2-hour chunks at a time.
Oh, I see.
Basically-
The entire project.
For the entire power project, they get 6 hours of intersection closure.
That's good.
How's that taken in?
Fun.
Okay.
I mean,
I
That's
knew we were gonna have to do something.
yeah, it's basically, they need a couple hours to remove the old paint, redo the new paint, and maybe fix a couple of lights that are in there. So that's why it'll be likely be a couple of hours each segment. And then at that point, Matt can arrange around that. It's pretty not terrible.
And estimated completion date is
40 days from April 1st.
so midnight.
Yeah.
When we get post project, it'd be really neat to see comparisons on our power usage once we're done with the project versus now.
We will
Because we'll be
figure something
on
out.
these.
Yep. Yeah. And we'll get, that reminds me, I need to get, our communications group down here to do some overheads before we start. And do some of that transition too. So if we can hop back to the public comment period real fast. I will introduce Redmond Jones. Redmond is our assistant city manager.
Deputy City Manager?
Deputy city manager. All right, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Hey,
I need titles.
well, yeah, there you go. I just wanted to take opportunity to introduce myself. I've been working with Mike for maybe 2-3 months now as the liaison, and we've made some changes. So we just hired a new assistant city manager, and I've kind of been picking up the pieces during the transition to the city. It's just been on the calendar to come and say hello, and just hadn't been able to do it. So we finally made it happen. And unfortunately, I gotta be really quick about it because I gotta run to another commission. But I'm happy to entertain any questions and just to let you know that we appreciate our partnership and work closely with the commission and my career opportunities. Yeah, that's good.
Nice to meet you. And I know we're very excited about how well the airport and the city have been working together. A lot of us have been on this for a while. It's nice to see positive communication back and forth.
Absolutely, and I know you have helped us out with our compensation study and so, yeah, just showing how closely we work together. So, yeah. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your next meeting.
Yeah, well, it should be interesting with the truth and reconciliation. So. If you follow any of that, thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, terminal area study, wrapping up the report stuff with the FAA still. We know we were not on the list for, the award for our planning and historical reviews. We do have the next opportunity coming up presumably towards April, or not April, October. Which will be the next round of application cycles. There is some side conversations about if we want to try some alternate approaches. I think maybe in the next couple of months, the airport commission might want to have some of those conversations. One avenue is using, Congress has brought back essentially earmarks. We can try that path, work with our legislative contingent to try to get something put into budget bills. FAA naturally doesn't like that because that's a directive of how to spend the money they get rather than being able to maintain their plans. So it's a double-edged sword. If we were able to convince a legislator to put something into budget bill, that's kind of step one. But we got to have a willing legislative partner to push that issue. Otherwise, we'll be ready to go in October for when the new application cycles come out. That's kind of our last gasp at the moment, and then if we don't get the chain started, we'll have to take a look at how we manage the current building and things that might help alleviate space on a temporary basis as we try to figure out next steps. I know Matt's working on a couple of things, possibly in the second floor above the office and the maintenance shop.
Yeah, that would be at least some space for things like quiet.
Yeah, it's some space, might not be the most opportune space, but not the nicest space, but I mean, we'll at the end of the day, we'll figure it out. Solar power project, yay, we are almost there.
That is great.
If you would like to open the public hearing, which is basically just say the public hearing is open.
And public hearing open.
Okay.
No public comments.
We have, oh, Carl is in the chat. Hold on. Carl, you just missed my terminal area study spiel, but we're talking about solar power. I think for the most part, we've missed taking care of things.
Okay, I just was gonna listen in, so.
As far as the solar power project goes, this is the project that will install our ground mounted solar array on the north side. That array will power the terminal building, runway lighting, and the carry ambulance building. The contract time for that is 40 days. Cost estimate is $505,000 for construction. Bids are due April 8th at 10:30, before 10:30. And we're doing a pre-bid meeting on April 1st at 10:30. And the plans and specs were at the tail end of your packet. If anybody looked at those or has questions, we're working on the notice, the invitation to bidders will be essentially, some of it's been published, what will be effectively published tomorrow, presuming you approve it tonight. Anything else I'm missing?
No, I think you got it covered. Just see if you have any questions.
No, I looked through it as best I could. Looked fine to me. There's a lot of specifications about grading and soil types and stuff.
Yeah.
pretty technical. It looks good with those of you who studied it extensively at time.
I move,
We have to close the public hearing first.
Yeah, we'll close the public hearing, presuming there's no other public comments.
So closing the public hearing. Closing the public hearing. We need to go.
I move to approve the resolution approving plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost for construct airside ground mount solar array project at the Iowa City Municipal Airport.
Roll call,
Second.
all in favor?
No, now roll call.
Roll call. Chris? Aye. Warren?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Or aye. And Ryan? So it passed. And what do we have? DOT ground projects?
Terminal building improvements, that's just waiting for consistently low temperatures to stay above freezing for roughly about a week, so probably looking at sometime in April realistically for that to happen. Contractor has all the stuff, we're just literally waiting for weather. The 25 application, the call letters are out, we threw the application in the packet so you can see what it looks like. Knowing we are still going after the terminal building, my thoughts are to fill in this area here of concrete, and Carl is aware of this. That would enable somebody to build a box hanger here. Matt and I have had conversations, and there is some budding interest in doing something down here for a boxy type of style hanger. So I think that would help, and then also in the future at some point we'll extend the whole thing down for T hangers on both sides of that.
Mike, that area that's to the right,
Yep.
and it's southeast of that patch there. Looks like it's fenced in. Is that? Yeah, so. Is that part of the lease with the National Guard?
So the Reserve Center lease is this square that ends on this line. This extra space right here is technically ours again. Nobody's ever put the fence line back.
Okay.
We don't have any use for it at the moment.
So I have a question though, Mike. Why fill in that area and make a box hanger rather than extend? What's currently alongside the T hangers, parallel to the new
Cost, purely cost.
We can accommodate more airplanes for T.
Yes. Sure, it's purely a cost issue. I don't want to use all of our allocation knowing we're still going after the terminal stuff. Because we're gonna need a bunch of money for that, assuming we get it. But I would like to promote opportunities for people to build hangars, and we've got this strip right here where people can build T hanger, we've got a whole row of T hangers that you can build right here. Granted, they're,
Not box hangers.
well, you can do box hangers. If I had more budding interest in people talking about building keys, I might think a little differently, but all of my group conversations have gone cold.
Are there any incentives for people to build hangers besides just having it? Or I guess from historically how the airport's handled, I guess we only have one private hangar, right?
Technically, we have two. We have this one here, which was built by a private individual, and then Jetter's built. Jetter's originally built these two. We just happened to purchase this one early to convince Jetter to build this one.
But like terms and everything the same.
Generally, terms are the same. It's a long-term ground lease. At the end of the ground lease, the hangar becomes an airport asset. Dimensions are like, even here, if somebody wanted to do like smaller boxes, I wouldn't be opposed to it. That's not the greatest large use of the space, but if it got more airplanes here and nobody else is looking at building T hangars, I'd give that serious consideration as well, but yeah.
Have you had any nibbles on building box hangers?
Matt's got a couple of folks he's talking to, so I don't know if they're gonna try to do like some type of partnership or if it's just gonna be a Jetter building. That's kind of still a little too far out there for,
And that would be on the west side.
and that'd be coming here.
Oh, there. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how about on that new pavement? we put?
The size of what Matt wants to build doesn't work. Matt wants to build more of a 60 by 60, maybe an 80 by 80. And that does not work down for the G hangar area. These are roughly, you get 50 feet deep.
And so those, like if somebody built T hangers, the lease allows them to rent it out, or do they end up having to sell each T to somebody to own their own like lease and everything?
If somebody were to build multiple units in a T hangar, I've always been operating under the impression that we would allow them to sublease it. Because we've had, I don't think this commission as it sits now has had that conversation, but I've had that conversation with others, and, you know, everybody's been like, yeah, whatever, you know, basically if it gets somebody to build something, we're pretty much on board. Be putting the
The
capital
thing
out
is, you know, why would anyone build a T hangar if there is pavement on both sides, right?
Well, that is a drawback at the moment. We don't have the full length on either side, so you're looking at doors on essentially one side at the moment.
So you can only rent out half of the building.
Using a big tire window here.
There you go. Big tires.
I can off-road.
So that would again be my question about the pavement.
We are gonna come back and revisit, one of these strips. I don't know if it'll probably be this one, because this will be less costly. But this strip only goes to, you know, right about here with that building restriction line. So that's kind of where we have.
So we do better on the other side.
Yeah, we have, in terms of units, we do better on this side.
Yeah.
But that cost jumps dramatic. Even concrete is seeing some pretty unnatural inflation numbers.
Yeah.
And there's no way the city could help.
And we had that problem with this project where we were going to do both of these strips. And the bids came back too high, so we had to cut back and just do one.
And the city could help us pay for it.
Not with everything else going.
Where it shows the little airplane and the new box.
Yep.
There's that green area going down through that. Is that a water drainage type place? Does that make it more of a problem?
This year? No, I mean, it effectively is a water drainage place because all of this is now like, this is a mound of dirt here. This is where basically we dumped everything that was here.
Oh, okay. So it's not that would be more expensive
It's-
because it's a what?
Yeah, no, this isn't,
Tile or something.
yeah, this has kind of become a natural drain because all of this is
Yeah.
now elevated.
Okay.
Well, would it be cheaper for us to put in asphalt?
Honestly, asphalt and concrete are still coming about the same price.
As it gets hotter, asphalt wouldn't be as good an option.
No, I mean, concrete's better.
Yeah.
Just wondering if it's someone could do it on the cheap, so we could build other T hangers. I would think that there would be people interested in contributing, you know, enough to build their section. Opposed to build.
Airport operations,
Airport operations, budgets, we are March. We are in the last quarter, we're about to start the last quarter of our fiscal year. I don't think we have anything too pressing in terms of budget issues. Management side within the packet is the annual report from 2023. Judy's given me some other grammatical revisions on that one. It's great. But otherwise, with those corrections, if everybody's okay with it, at some point we'll want to throw that into the council packet and have a couple of folks go say hi to the city council and do a 5-minute spiel in the public comment section and say hi and what's going on at the airport. talk about our solar project that we're about to kick off. So if you want to see that again with the final one, I certainly can. Otherwise, if you're okay with it, we'll just work on figuring out the council schedule and let's let everybody know that there's just, okay. USA Display Jet, this one is, we set the public hearing at the special meeting, but this one made the agenda because of the contract, the way that the government changed it, so we do need to open the public hearing, for this one.
Public hearing. Let's open the public hearing.
So what exactly does the see the resolution?
Should be right behind it. Essentially, it's, we get to have the jet, we have to kind of maintain the jet to a point where it looks halfway decent. Yeah, it's a.
We can't let poison ivy crawl.
The agreement doesn't say it has to be accurate.
Yeah,
It has to look like.
it's okay if it has a Jimmy Durant.
You know,
Anyway,
yeah, at the end of the day, what changed is, this is the same agreement we have signed for, I mean, since I've been here, but I presume even longer. The government went from doing annual agreements to doing 5-year agreement, and that triggers the requirement for the public hearing. Otherwise, we can still break the agreement when we want, either we pay to ship the thing back to the Air Force, or somebody else, says, yeah, we'd like it, and they pay to get it shipped to them. On a positive note, I did have a conversation with some folks from Camp Dodge a couple of weeks ago, and they heard through the grapevine that we were talking about doing something, whatever. But they said they might be interested if the time came that we were looking to partner with them. And to give them a heads up. They didn't guarantee they'd want it. They said give them a heads up and at least an opportunity, which that would dramatically cut any potential shipping on either side. So that's all I have for that.
So what about it though? Are we gonna keep it?
For now.
Gotta have to.
Well,
Oh, tell them why do we have to
Gotta
go?
find money to move it.
Well, I thought you said the weekend let the people that want.
They said they're interested, which is, I think, the.
When we're ready to.
That is government speak for.
Yeah.
For what?
We don't have the money, but
Okay.
You won't pay for it.
yeah.
I will tell them, yeah, say we're interested, but we don't really want that.
How interested are we? Like.
Yeah.
The National Guard is interested in the Army Reserve building, and that thing has now been vacant for like 5 years.
That's
So much
because
hope.
time pressure whatsoever to do it.
Would you say the lease goes till like 2050 something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
National Guard will still be here. The biggest issue I think is that it's a veterans memorial, so if we're gonna get rid of it, we should have something lined up to replace it of some variety to avoid political blowback. How about that?
Yeah, that would be awesome. And the space that we saw on the
I
design.
will point out that that was in the terminal study that
Yes.
we did about, what we would do, and the FAA said, no thanks. So, at least this time. So, we have a plan. It's just status quo, we can always break it.
Thing is, if we don't have someone who wants it, what the heck do we do?
We said that.
We can send it
Yeah, to the.
at our cost.
And what is our cost? Approximately?
don't know, depends on
It would be cheap to go to that, take a card. Means that we have a truck.
So Matt can help us with that, right? Take the device.
anyway.
Yeah.
And then you said what? It has to be moved in a truck? Is that what you mentioned?
Yeah.
That's really crazy. We can take it apart, put it in a big box, and go around another truck. Drive it.
Chip back, okay. And then, so
Arizona
we're,
desert.
you still talk.
Yeah. Yeah, like all the other thousands of.
Okay, so we're crossing,
Yeah,
hopefully,
Okay. So I guess I would move that we approve a resolution approving a loan agreement SDA 0082 with the National Museum of the United States Air Force Community Science Display Building.
that's it.
all in favor, no, roll. Chris? Aye. Warren?
Aye.
Judy? Aye. Alexa, aye, in line. Oh, the resolution passed.
All right.
Events, we have events on the calendar.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So we have, I think we had the Autocross events filled out last month, but just in case we don't, we have those 4 filled out. Drive-in movie schedule has been published. We are on the calendar for 12/13. We have Barbie showing at the airport. Young Eagles, we've made contact with them and figured out the 11th is going to be the date for Young Eagles Day. And I haven't actually talked to the pancake breakfast, but I expect that to be the last Sunday of August like it always is. So that should be August 25th. And that's kind of our schedule of regular events that we do every year.
And then. You.
Matt isn't here this month. I don't have any real news from him. I know they've been kind of in that transition period of getting things ready for spring and getting equipment up to the city shop. So spring maintenance and all that stuff can happen on that before we start tearing everything apart for mowing and so instead of snow behind here.
The commission member report. I have a question.
Yeah.
Who's the owner of the corner of Capitol in Bennington? Where the recycling place used to be and it got on fire? Is it the city? The incumbents are now in there, and that was another issue that we're gonna bring up. What are we doing over here? In order
Cut
for,
down all the trees.
okay,
Trees are gone.
The trees are gone, there's no
so
place.
there's no place for them
Yeah,
to
and
come.
that's almost certainly not us, because that's way outside.
Yeah.
Because over there,
I
they,
never
no, I know, but they don't have trees over there either.
Yeah, they've been almost there.
No, now it's like increased, like in the past month, it's been
They're a lot.
growing.
I'm just really glad it's not.
No, I was just wondering because, predecessors have asked. And I'm like, I don't know if I can find out.
Yeah, that one I think is private property, so
Okay.
I don't know for sure. The sheriff, he said they will build over there. They should know what's going on.
Who?
The sheriff.
I live in jail.
Yeah, none of
Oh.
they keep building their equipment like vehicle storage.
Oh, that.
Next
Yeah.
door to it, did they
Yeah,
have like,
they're right there, so they, I mean,
that's why we were
something's up.
thinking that it was
They know.
a city.
yeah, they're other shit.
Oh, no, they know it's there. The
Well,
university was just kind of wondering who was the owner.
yeah.
But the reason what I was asking was because I didn't know what were our plans over here in order for it not to happen again.
I think, Jennifer, when we filed the thing, like, we notice an issue, we get the police in on it right away, right?
Correct,
And then-
yeah, and the police are aware that they would trespass anybody that was there.
Okay.
So if they were notified, or I think they're also, it's easier for them to kind of see that area now, so. They would trespass anybody that's there, and then as long if they're trespassed, of course, we don't have the issue where people start living there and then we have to evict them. So as far as I know, I don't think there's been any.
Issues, yeah.
Any issues.
What is the shelter closed, the winter shelter, when did it close? Well, it's closed until April.
Okay, you go with this.
I actually,
I thought it said April.
well, we keep our eye.
That's what I was. That's why I brought up the subject because I didn't know. Well,
We are watching it as far as the area goes. We are kind of filling in some of this area where the trees are to make it better manageable so we can maintain it. I am having contacts with the folks that are using it for vehicle storage to get those removed or have them rent the ground from us.
So forget get them off the land. Do like we did the thing over there. Hey.
Yeah.
$300 a month. You can park whatever you want.
So which
As long
one?
as,
The one along the river?
Basically, this whole line has been gone. These are gone. The streets and parks have also taken care of this whole line. And we're also clearing the trail off. There's
Oh my gosh.
a big chunk of trail that's gone because it was part of the airspace protection zone. They've got one more side of the trail to do in here. But yeah, effectively, there's no place to hide.
Because FYI, of the other side where they're at right now, there's no place to hide either, and they're there.
Oh,
it just makes it easier to see them from like Highway 6.
yeah.
There's there now, there's a softball court center now, just off the.
Oh, yeah.
The other side of the river. South.
I do have something airport related, actually, for Commissioner report. So, for those amongst us that fly, you may have noticed it's always light rain on the weather station. It's not a feature. Yeah, it is a feature right now. So, have you talked to National Weather Service about this?
If I think I know what you're about to say, then yes.
Okay, so I called Davenport National Weather Service because they maintain our ASOS. And which they made very clear was not AWOS. It is still reporting P-type and it's doing it accurately and it is able to detect light, moderate, heavy rain. But when it's clear outside or it's not raining, it says it's light rain. Reason being that apparently it's some glass thing and it's scratched. And so that makes it look like it's raining when it's clear. Apparently they got parts on back order to fix it. So
That's good to know.
I don't know how long it's gonna take them to do it, to fix it. But just know that's a thing. And I don't know if it's worth it noting, considering that P-type is still a thing, frozen or otherwise, and light, where heavy is reporting correctly. So just so you know, because my wife was like, your airport's wrong. I was like, what do you want from me? I don't run this, it's not ours.
It is the blue sky.
It is blue sky with light rain. So that's a thing.
It doesn't change like the ceiling information, so with that not being enough, and that's where all of the safety and minimums come into play.
That's where the legal stuff starts.
Yeah, that's
This is just an inconvenience.
Yeah, I'm not planning on putting NOTAMs up for it. Unless I get a whole bunch of questions that maybe you take a second look at it, but otherwise, no.
I have one more thing. The letter that we sent to the president's office, and initially they said yes to the visit.
Yeah,
Now, Vice President of External Relations blocked it and said no, because there's no relationship to the university and the area.
yeah, that's the whole point.
So I'm trying to kind of go around him and try to find some ally in his team, some communication, either strategic comm or UHR comm. So to see if we can build kind of like a force to go to him, and so I'm inviting a couple of them to the tour. In one of them, I sent you an email and he's talking about April 1st. So hopefully if we get enough people in his team that it's on board, then
Yeah, I mean, it's absurd to say that there's no relationship.
you know, like it's
I mean, you
when there's
could-
when there's game.
I realize it's public meeting, but we could demonstrate the link that the airport has to the hospital by denying their airflow helicopters. Privileges. Like, there is a relationship here. Yeah. We work together. They've got a hangar right over there. Like,
Technically, they're on their own ground over there.
technically they're on their own ground, but like,
But Tom's here. Is it not Brunswick?
Tom is here, yeah, the Grand Research right there. Hell, the, Know Your University or whatever that program is, right, where you can do tours of various places. They did tours at OPL this
And
last
that
year.
critical outreach and organ transplant folks flying in.
Yeah, there's like, I can go on. So what this says is, like, I can be snarky all day, but what this says is that, this is an education opportunity. And so, if dude's like, we don't have a relationship, let me educate, please. Let me blow your
Would you
mind.
like to maybe set up a meeting and then we can go in?
I'm sure,
Okay.
I don't know what weight my title carries, but
It does not have to carry any, I mean, we're going in representation of the airport, not
that's true. Yeah,
the
that's true.
university, so.
I will make absolutely sure I like that education.
I know we do. I don't even know if I could come, should come though, because I'm their HR reference.
Nah,
But I can try to get you a meeting with them.
yeah, there's no conflict of interest here, it's not like we're selling.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, like, they kept their eye logo on one of the hangers and.
this hanger brought to you by It's the First.
Yeah, oh, that would be awesome.
Andrew said they can hold us in term.
Well, that's kind of like the,
But yeah, I'm happy to help out with that. 'cause-
so we can have some presence, because I mean, we got a lot of traffic. And there is no, like, even when they come for the games, I was here one day, I don't even know why I was here. Why was it? Oh, I was signing papers and it was a basketball game and there were like people coming through.
Mhm.
And there's no presence at all,
Haynes has a giant sigh. At the airport.
but they have,
Any reason.
don't they have an airplane too?
And what,
Iowa State doesn't have an airplane there?
Iowa State was there. And Iowa State also helped pay for the tournament later.
Yeah.
Because of that. But we don't want
That's
airplanes
right.
because of the whole thing that happened. No, that wouldn't be a good example, but because of the whole deal of the president using the airport, the airplane for things that were not supposed. Yeah, that's what they don't want on.
That's why they charter them.
It's good. Okay, so I'll try to get the meeting and I'll try to get some of the communication people on board because they're part of his team, so hopefully. And you.
April 1st
Source.
is what you're.
That's what he said, April 1st at noon, he said that he could come. But that wouldn't be Peter, that would be, always. Strategic
OSC?
communication for UHR. So his name is, Austin Frosty.
This is OSC.
No, this is UHR, strategic communication. I will reach out to OSC, either Janine or anybody there.
We just have to be careful, so it's.
Make sure it's only 2 a.m.
Yeah, no, well, I don't know
Together.
how you two, whether you, which one of you would like to come to this tour? But if also, if I try to set up a meeting with Peter, then one of you or you would have to be there as well, so,
But since you're university, wouldn't it be better to have them as non-university?
I am
Be the one.
university.
that,
You are too?
yeah,
Yeah, but I
Oh,
don't
I
care.
didn't know. Yeah, okay. You're
He's
retired.
retired.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
what
talk
you-
healthcare side. I can talk, I used to work at the athletic department. I can talk the athletic side.
Well,
Yeah.
we all see what's here on.
the thing is, like, I currently work in their department,
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
then
like,
we need that.
we can take that one,
Yeah.
and then when the president comes, we can figure it out.
yeah.
Okay, so that.
Okay, so, that is the commission member report, staff report.
Next week on the 20th is the IPAA legislative reception, so I will be gone for that day.
Is that local, is that Iowa legislature,
Yes.
or is that?
Getting
also-
yes.
Iowa
There you go.
legislature. Bolton and Mink hosted at their office, because their offices are a couple blocks away from the Capitol. So I will be at that, I don't. And then we've got the conference in Cedar Falls, like April, which I mentioned before, Electra has mentioned she would like to go to the.
And where is the thing go? Right, the conference?
The IPAA.
You're going to the conference.
Oh,
Right.
I'll consider, the.
Excuse me, you said we were going,
The conference is April 17th.
is it 14 or 17, something like that?
think it's the 17th, 16th, 17th, Mike, something like that.
The 17th is the day for people to.
Yeah, they said the 16th, no, the 17th.
Okay.
You said we're flying in, that's why I was like, okay, sure,
All right.
I'm in.
Okay, I'll do it.
There you go, Warren's going to.
I got more, okay, I got more to come along.
Yeah, you're coming along with me.
Sure. You offer.
I just want to make sure I know, I want to make sure I know whose registrations I need to take care of, that's all I'm here.
It just got out of its annual thing, so.
That's it for me.
Okay, then, do you want to run the meeting?
I'm sorry. I just wanted to get it going, 'cause I couldn't-
Yeah, but people are still talking and I don't want to interrupt anybody.
Sorry.
So, consider a motion to go into executive session.
Yeah, I move that we consider a motion to go into executive session under section 2151I of the Iowa Code to evaluate the professional competency of individuals whose appointment, hiring, performance charges being considered unnecessary to prevent needless and irreparable injury to that individual's reputation, and the individual requests a closed session.
Second,
And Mike has requested a closed session.
Roll call.
It's a motion, so it's all in favor.
All in favor?
All right, Carl, we're gonna let you go.
All right, good night, everyone.